Hello there. What is going on, everybody? So much Star Wars Shatterpoint stuff to discuss. Massive news drop over the weekend at Adepticon. Atomic Mass Games gave us so much Star Wars Shatterpoint drops news. The demos, the expansions, the future plans. There's so much coming. It's absolutely incredible. And there's not only stuff for Shatterpoint, stuff for X-Wing, Armada, Legion, also lots of good stuff. All of it is coming. We're going to talk about it in today's video. I'm going to be breaking down all of the different games. I wanted to start with Shatterpoint as I think it got the most news and some of the most exciting stuff ever. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this in today's video. If you guys are new here to the channel, I am giving away a Star Wars Shatterpoint core set. If you want to have a chance to enter to win this, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. I want to know, what is your dream team in a game like Star Wars Shatterpoint? What do you want to put on your tabletop that you haven't been able to do yet? So what we're gonna be talking about is all of this amazing stuff. I think I'm just gonna kind of dive right into it because there's a lot. So Atomic Mass Games did a big panel talking about lots of their games: Marvel Crisis Protocol, X-Wing, Armada, Legion. They ended with Star Wars Shatterpoint, which has so much stuff. We've already gotten our panels on. We've got a lot of, I guess, previews of the next couple of expansions. You can see the video behind me. This is their launch trailer, which gave us everything that's in the core set, plus also Dooku, plus Grievous and Luminara, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like the first couple of expansions, plus lots of terrain and all of that. Well, we've got even more, but not only was there all that stuff, they also had their learn to play demos. There were some questions I think we still had after all the news drops, and the demos were really nice. There's a lot of videos of those already. I'm not actually doing a learn to play or a demo video because, well, I wasn't at Adepticon, and once I actually get the thing in my hands, I can do my own. So I'll eventually do one of those. But it was really good clarification on the demos that were out there. Will Schick gave a great one for their Facebook live stream. That was really great. Explained a lot of like the symbols, some of the tokens, actions. Like one thing I thought was pretty interesting. Like when you move clone troopers, like they both have to take the same action. If you got a single unit card that has multiple models, each one does the same action. So I'm doing a move. Okay, they both move. They don't have to stay together. It can be a liability if you move them out because they have a shared health pool. So like, hey, but this clone trooper is going to take this objective. This clone trooper is going to take that objective. I'm going to score 2 objectives with 1 unit. Yeah, but now like they're both, they're both as weak as the one that's out in the open, right? So like now I can just fire on that one that doesn't have any cover and then completely, put a wound on the unit. And then now they won't be able to score anymore for the rest of the game. A lot of things like that. So very cool stuff. A lot of things that it shed light on, but it also has other things that I'm thinking to myself, boy, I can't wait to play this and play through multiple games and get a really good feel of how it feels to have your units wounded. And now the force cost goes up on all of their stuff. Now they can't score anymore, but I still get to play them. Is it worth you trying to table me? Is it worth you trying to actually kill them so they come off the board? Granted, that means there's less dice I'm throwing at you. All of these new gameplay situational questions come in after seeing the gameplay demos. And that's cool. But then Sunday, they did this awesome panel. I talked about it in my live stream yesterday. If you haven't already seen that, I kind of went through everything. First thing that we haven't already seen, of course, a lot of stuff we have already seen, but what we haven't already seen, Dathomir is coming to Star Wars Shatterpoint. This is something I'm very excited about. I love the Dathomir Witches. I love the Night Sister arc. I definitely wanted these guys as a sub faction in Star Wars Legion, their own battle force, but they're going to be coming to Shatterpoint. We already seen the Dathomir subtype on things like Asajj Ventress, and now you have all kinds of really cool stuff that you can do here. You're getting awesome, Mother Talzin. You're getting Savage Opress, which is really cool, and they all have that green magic on them too, which is also a really nice touch. But Savage Opress is there, and then the 2 Night Sisters, you got a melee one, and you got that bow too. They're probably the same unit, but you might even have choices. One of the things we're learning here is that, while you have your primary and your secondary, and you also have your support, we have seen so far as supports have always been, out of everything we've seen so far, have been a 2 miniature unit. There are 2 different characters, right, in this unit. And now we're starting to see some where there may be a single miniature support, and then you'll have a choice of which one you want to do. In this case, it's unclear. They do still look like that's gonna be a two miniature support for them. But there's so many different options here. Obviously, Mother Talzin's probably going to be your primary, and Savage Opress might be your secondary. And that's interesting because Savage is strong enough, to be really, he might be just a really strong secondary. Teaming him up with lots of other people that you can do. You could bring some, Asajj Ventress. It would pair well with a lot of these. So would Maul, So there's a lot of really cool capabilities and possibilities. And especially if they even start doing stuff into the video games, which they could so totally do. You'll see some more of that here in a minute. But Jedi Fallen Order, the Jedi games have their own Dathomir character also. So very cool stuff. Their own Night Sister. Mace Windu, if you watch my interview with Will Schick, you already Mace Windu is coming. He was one of the first characters kind of spoiled. The game is kind of named after his famous book Shatterpoint. So, he's kind of the inspiration for the name of the game at least. So of course Mace Windu had to show up, and man, did they hit a home run! They absolutely did. So you're going to be getting Mace Windu. He's going to come with some 187th clones and Pawns, who is his named guy there. And so that all is good. But I really want Mace. I want Mace Windu. I don't usually see him fighting with clones. I usually see him kind of doing his own thing. I wonder how he'll be represented. I gotta say, that is one of the best poses I could have asked for Mace Windu. It's a really, really nice looking pose. Very much reminds me of the Clone Wars cartoon, the Tartakovsky cartoon. I'm getting vibes from that. It's a good blending of different art styles for the Mace Windu. It looks great, though. Can't wait to to get him to tabletop. He is supposed to also have an ability called Shatterpoint. Won't know what that does, but obviously it has to do with finding somebody's weaknesses and hitting them in that one spot that just shatters their defenses. So maybe he'll have a single way to just cancel all of your blocks. Maybe you have to spend a lot of force to do it. That's kind of that's my guess for what Mace Windu will do. That matches up to the book the most, because when he can get your Shatterpoint, he just shatters your defenses. So if he can find the key to beating you, all of a sudden you're going to have no defense dice, right? So I'm guessing it's going to be something kind of like that. Bounty hunters are coming. Also, again, if you watch my interview with Will Schick, he soft confirmed CAD Bane. And now it's hard confirmed, along with Aura Singh. By the way, cool art style on these. And man, great poses here. We're getting CAD Bane, we're getting Aura Singh, we're getting a couple of bounty hunters also, which is going to be really cool. And this is going to be one of those packs that I think is a great way to augment an existing squad, an existing strike team that you're looking to put together. You're like, oh, I just need somebody else to go in here, and you know what? I want to try this other strategy, and maybe the clones aren't doing it for me, or the droids aren't doing it for me, and I want to go maybe Jedi heavy, and don't really, these guys don't synergize with anything else. Oh, let's throw a bounty hunter in there. That'd be really cool. So it looks like CAD Bane is your primary, Aura Singh is your secondary, and then you've got this Deveronian, and then a Quadrafan, and then CAD Bane's little droid right there. A pretty cool little group of ragtag bounty hunters. Like this dude, I don't even know if he's like supposed to be a named character or not, but he looks awesome. It's a great stance, great cape. The flowing capes, man. We're getting a lot of billowing cloth effects on these minis here, which is gonna make them really lovely to paint. They're gonna this is gonna have some prize painting potential for these units. But that CAD Bane sculpt, man, the way he's got the hand on the hat there and just holding that pistol out to the side, it's incredible. It's very, very cool. Very cool looking. Looking forward to that one. Plo Koon is coming in, and he's coming in with the Wolf pack, and of course, Wolf, which is going to be real nice. By the way, this is also going to be the pack that has Padawan Ahsoka Tano in it. So for all of you folks that might not get the early access pre-order Ahsoka, she's just early. She is coming in this one. It'll be the same exact Ahsoka, so the advantage of pre-ordering the core sets. You get this Ahsoka early, as otherwise you'll just have to wait for this pack. So she is coming out in this pack. Also, let's point out something really cool here. There's 5 minis here, right? So this is one of those packs that you're just going to be getting an extra miniature, and you're going to have choices to make. Maybe you run Plo Koon and Wolf and the Wolf pack, or maybe you run Plo Koon and Ahsoka and the Wolf pack, or maybe you take Ahsoka and put her with Anakin, and and do some different stuff. So I love the fact that they're expanding upon established norms already, and like, hey, let's do this pack with 5 characters. Maybe we'll see a pack with 6 characters towards the end of the video. And this one, okay, all right. So we're getting Padme and her handmaidens and her bodyguards. We're getting the whole setup for this awesome Naboo royalty. They have just this awesome training that they go through. Like, they're really badass. If you read the books, the Queen's Guard or Queen's Gambit or whatever it is, it kind of goes into the story of a lot of the training that goes on here, and there's a lot to it. There's a lot more than I had thought. Also, I love how these kind of contrast against the normal color schemes that you're typically used to. Like, there's a lot of grays and dark blues and a lot of white for clones, but a lot of white for like the plastoid armor. There's just a lot of certain color schemes. You don't see a whole lot of red. Maul has a little bit, but it's still a lot of grays and blacks in there. And you're getting this bright yellow and this bright red and this really contrasting. Like these are. I look at these. My first thing I want to say is that is fire, because the handmaidens kind of look fiery too. You're gonna have to do some wet blending on those to get those to really shine. They look absolutely spectacular. This is a really nice looking pack, and I think it's gonna really have some appeal. I'll definitely, like, everything I've seen so far is like, yeah, I definitely want that. Definitely want that. Where am I gonna put all of these? I need to find more storage. That's what I need to do. Need to get more storage. And the future. Now, more is coming on May the 4th. More is coming. May the 4th, 5th, and 6th. There are going to be more spoiler reveals. I don't know if that's going to be like a mini extravaganza for them or what. I'm not sure. They could have had, if it is a mini extravaganza, there might have been some rule, hey, you can't advertise for your own event at Adepticon. I don't know what's going on, but something's happening May the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. Well, obviously, it's May the 4th, so Star Wars Day. And Revenge of the 6th. By the way, public service announcement. It's not Revenge of the 5th. The 5th is Cinco de Mayo. Let that be a thing. Revenge of the 6th, for one, sounds closer to Revenge of the Sith. It's only 1 letter off, whereas 5th is actually, you have to change 2 letters. Revenge of the 5th is not even a thing. So more and more people are getting on board with the truth. This is the way. May the 4th be with you. Cinco de Mayo. And then Revenge of the 6th. That's the way it works. Okay, anyway. But they're going to be announcing a ton more. There's going to be more stuff. But for what we do know now is Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi are coming. We're getting Vader and his Stormtrooper pack. This is nice. Vader looks awesome. He's got this huge billowing cloak. Lots of that cloth effects. He just looks gorgeous. Really excited for this one. Stormtroopers, they're Stormtroopers. They look great. Not super excited one way or the other. I'm very lukewarm on the Stormtroopers. A little above Luke. I'm a solid 6 out of 10 on the Stormtroopers because they look good and they contrast against Vader well. It's just that's what you'd expect from a Darth Vader pack right there. Looks great. Ship it. I'm good. I'm sold. But this one. This one is everything to me. I started to gush in my live stream yesterday, but this is Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie. This is a perfect Return of the Jedi pack that also features Lando right away, and the first pack that you're getting for the Rebels out of the Galactic Civil War. I love it. I love that we're getting a Lando. Ultimately, I'd love to have Bespin or a Lando Calrissian, but yeah, we're getting Lando right away. Skiff Guard Lando, it's awesome. Love it. Leia in her Bouche disguise. Love it. I actually want this in Legion, too. I want her to have an incognito, like, bounty hunter kind of disguise for the Rebels. I would have never guessed that we'd be seeing Leia in her Bouche disguise on a tabletop this soon, especially for a game like this. Magnificent. fantastic. And R2D2 serving drinks. It's just the greatest tribute to Return of the Jedi in this pack, and I'm sold. I'm so happy to see this. This is gonna be the greatest thing ever. I, I'm wondering on a couple of things. I wonder if we're gonna have different head sculpts on some of these. Some of them definitely make me think that we'll probably get, like all the clones. A lot of the named clones, you usually can take the helmet on or off. I wonder if R2 will have different options there. I wonder if maybe he won't always be serving drinks. Maybe you can have him down, like moving. Maybe he'll be able to shoot the lightsaber up. Really curious what kind of build options we're going to have for these. Not that I have a problem with any of these, but I'm curious because they often do some kind of build options, and this would be a really cool one to do that stuff. Like Leia taking the helmet off, that would be cool too, because you can have the helmet kind of in her hand. You could possibly, if you don't want the thermal detonator in her hand, you can have her holding the helmet like she just took it off. Like there's all kinds of cool little things you could do with this pack, depending on how they want to do that. But Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie. And this is just such a great pack. And it doesn't stop there. We've got even more. Ewoks. We did get a preview of Ewoks for Legion. We knew that was coming, but they're also coming for Shatterpoint. This is super exciting. It looks like we've got Logray and Wicket there, and then we've got some others. Is that Chief Chirpa? I'm not sure. But then we've got some ranged Ewoks with the bows. We got the spears and the daggers, the little murder bears. They look pretty fun. They look fun. I'm very neutral on Ewoks. I don't get quite as excited as other folks do. Even though Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie, I always thought the Ewoks were cute and liked them and everything. But it's just there's other stuff that I like about Return of the Jedi more so than the Ewoks. So they're not my favorite part of the movie. But I don't have issues with them like other people do. They're fun, but I think maybe they're probably the least exciting thing out of all of this because everything else is just so much more insane to me. But the Ewoks are cool too. Absolutely cool. Speaking of insane, let's talk about these Inquisitors. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So they got special access from Lucasfilm. This is really cool too. I talked about this a little bit. They were able to work on this stuff before it was revealed to the public in Kenobi. So, really cool stuff. I love the likeness they did for the Grand Inquisitor. It's a good blend of like Grand Inquisitor from like Rebels combined with live action, and it's just like it's immediately recognizable, and it's not too far to one extreme. It's just a good kind of mix of those. Really cool pose too. He's got it behind him like that, slightly canted downward. I love it. And how about that cloak? Like Grand Inquisitor looks awesome right there. I want to see him closer up. Really cool. And not only him, they all look awesome. Like every single Inquisitor here looks so good. I'm gushing at these. And I've wanted Inquisitors on my tabletop for so long. I mean, you have them a little bit, right, in X-Wing and Armada, but you really here, right? This is, I mean, you want the minis, you want the sculpts. We need more. Look, Empire. In all of their tabletop games, Empire needs more saber users. You really just have Darth Vader, right? You need more sabers. And I just don't think we're getting Sam Witwer, a.k.a. Starkiller, Galen Merrick. I don't think we're getting Starkiller anytime soon, unless he gets a really cool tease in canon soon. But this is the next best thing. These are just incredible. Fifth brother, and one of them is fourth sister. They talked about this is one of the first, I think, the first pack that you won't have a generic support. So you're going to have named like a single miniature support, and you'll have to choose between the fifth brother and the fourth sister, which is really interesting to me. And I'm curious, like, well, all right, who all is, like, that looks like Reva over there, in the back. And so I think this is fourth sister here, and that's fifth brother off to the side. Obviously, fifth brother off to the side. It's hard to miss fifth brother. And then, of course, the Grand Inquisitor right there. So this is definitely look like it's like the Inquisitors that you're seeing in Kenobi, which I love. And I wonder, got to do a little speculation. Does this mean we're also going to see a Rebel older Kenobi? I think so. I think that's something that we're going to see. It makes sense if they were working on this for the Kenobi series. Let's get it. I mean, might be a little trickier to find out exactly who you're going to add. There's plenty of folks in the Kenobi series that they could do to add them to this. But then again, you could just do a kind of a blending. You could do a young Luke Skywalker. And I think that fits really well in this game. I want to see a farm boy Luke with like an old Ben Kenobi. That's what I'd really like to see. And maybe them do kind of a hybrid of like Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor, kind of like that kind of old, like, that middle age, not quite that old, but like 50-something Kenobi, like he's rugged, but he's still got fight left in him. Like I want to see that kind of old Ben Kenobi with farm boy Luke. And maybe R2 and 3PO or something like that. Like there's definitely options. You could do some of the other characters from Kenobi as well. But this is just fire. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. It's so good. So good. We got also some previews of some work in progress stuff, some stuff that's still the experimental kind of, we're still in the sculpting phase. So these are really far out projects. But we are going to be getting Inferno Squad. Ida Inversio here with her ID-10 droid. It looks awesome. She's leading them ahead. Again, another character I would expect might have multiple head sculpts, although I definitely would want her without the helmet, although I don't mind having like the helmet like on the base or tucked under the arm or something like that. I'm kind of like having different options like that. But Ida Inversio looks good. They did say this would be, you'd be getting an entire Inferno Squad pack. So very, very cool. So you'd be getting probably all 4 members. That should fit normally. I mean, really there's 3 main members, like Gideon and Hask. But at the same time, there's also Sain Marana, and I'm always like, justice for Sain, like represent Sain Marana, please. So I don't know if we'll get 3 or 4 characters in that. I think it makes sense you should get Sain Marana, but then again, they might do like, it might make more gameplay balance sense to do like a generic Inferno Squad troper, but since they're unique anyway, might as well just make it Sain Marana and just, maybe she's just the least combat effective and for a cheaper cost as a support. She could work as a support, that would make sense. I think that would make sense. But I don't know. I want to see. If you haven't read the Inferno Squad book, it's a pretty good book. I recommend it on Audible because Janina Gavankar actually reads the audio book to you. So you're getting Ida Inversio in Ida Inversio's voice. Very cool stuff. So check out Audible there. Han Solo, very cool looking Han Solo. We didn't get to see this one in as much clarity as I would have liked because, of course, I'm capturing stuff off of a presentation that was given through multiple cameras and stuff like that. But Will Schick had nothing but praise for this model of Han Solo, saying it was one of the best Han Solo likenesses they've ever done. So I can't wait to see it up close. But also, what else are we going to get in this Han Solo pack? Right? Is this Episode 4 Han Solo kind of getting the vest there, kind of getting that scoundrel Han Solo vibe? Is he stepping on a stormtrooper helmet there, or is that like a ship part, or some kind of moisture evaporator part? Is he on Tatooine here, about to pick up Luke? Obviously, you can expect Chewbacca to be with him. But my other question is, or could this be Solo, a Star Wars story? Han Solo, could it be? I don't know. Because then you could put Kira in there. You could do another version of Lando with him. There's plenty of other characters in Solo, a Star Wars story that you can do. Well, I think that would be pretty cool. Actually, I think if you're gonna get the Donald Glover like Lando, then I think you needed to get L3 in there too. That would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be fun. It'd be really fun. All right. Looks great. Are we done? Nope. They went back and showed us the very first one. This is the way, right? There's going to be a Mandalorian line. They showed us Mando and Grogu. This was apparently a proof of concept. This was the first mini they designed. So that's really cool. They were like, hey, we want to make Shatterpoint, and here's kind of the scale. So this was their proof of concept to be able to make Shatterpoint. So the first one they did, but not the first one to come out. So this is kind of cool. And again, there will be more characters from the Mandalorian in this pack. I love that we're hitting all different eras. I'm curious, though, what era this is going to be in. Is it going to be in Galactic Civil War era, or is Mando going to be his own era? Like, is he going to be like post ROT Return of the Jedi era? That's a big question for me, because Mando is doing an awful lot right now to fill in the gaps between the Galactic Civil War and the sequel trilogy. I know a lot of people asked, did they announce anything from the sequel trilogy? No, they did not. But the door is definitely open for them to be able to do other eras like the sequel trilogy, or go the other way, go back to the High Republic. Oh my gosh, if they were to do High Republic, forget about it. Oh my goodness, mozzarella. What? I don't know. Anyway, so that would be pretty cool. Or even Old Republic too, like Revan and stuff like that. You could fit anything like you want into this game. This game's kind of like a simulator, right? You can put your dream team together, which is pretty cool. All right. Speaking of dream teams, the Ghost Crew. Oh my God. The Ghost Crew. I love that they showed this. This made me so happy. I might have cried a little bit, honestly. We're getting Chopper and Zeb and Hera and Kanan and Ezra and Sabine. Oh boy. This is perfect. This is everything that I've wanted. I love it. It's, I mean, we haven't seen these guys all together since what, like Imperial Assault days? So, yeah, I'm curious how this is all going to work. I'm curious if this is just going to be one squad, or if this is going to be two squads combined into one box. Will it be, because again, 6 totally works. You know, Hera and Kanan could each be primaries. Ezra and Sabine could each be secondaries. Zeb and Chopper could each be supports. Or you could make Zeb a secondary and make Ezra a support. I don't know. It's young Ezra. It's like seasons 1 and 2 Ezra right there, right? So I don't know. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it. It looks great though. I'm just. This is a moment. I think this is something that, you know, I'm glad they revealed it now. I'm glad they revealed it before the core set came out, because this is, you know, something I think they need to fast track, because when this comes out, this is going to push a lot of people towards Shatterpoint, I think. I mean, I, like many, love Star Wars Rebels. It is, to me, top tier Star Wars. Maybe the best Star Wars we've ever had was Star Wars Rebels. Absolutely incredible. So with that in mind, these guys are the dream team, right? These guys are all stars. This is just I don't have the right words to say how happy this makes me. They look great. Can't wait to see them printed and painted up. I want to see the whole thing. It looks good. That Ezra pose too looks really great. Kanan, it looks like it's Kanan, like season 1 Kanan too. I'm curious if you'll have a blind Kanan option, like for the head sculpt. That'd be really cool. Although, for all of the painting challenged, I apologize in advance, because Sabine is going to be a tough one. You're going to be like, am I going to freehand this checkerboard design, or am I just going to go with decals? So there's going to be that option as well. It looks great, though. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. And this is also another thing that makes me kind of happy, that you can mix and match your squads, because Hera can work with a lot of different characters. Right? She has appeared since Star Wars Rebels in multiple other things. She goes on to become a general, right? She's in Rogue One. Well, the Ghost is in Rogue One. Hera's also in it's Star Wars Squadrons too, right? So, you know, like as you're getting more pilots and stuff like that, there's all kinds of natural synergies that might be able to reveal themselves, or just good thematic team-ups too. Or matching other Rebel Jedi together. Good guy Jedis. Kanan maybe reuniting with, you know, some of the older Jedi. I hope we get Depa Billaba at some point. I think there's definitely room there. I honestly thought Depa Billaba was going to come in the Mace Windu pack, though. That's something I'm kind of surprised. Well, I'm not that surprised. I guess it makes sense. You got to have, you know, you got to build up the clone kind of depth as well. But it looks cool. Looks really, really cool. So that's a lot for Star Wars Shatterpoint. We're going to get previews of all of this stuff in the coming months for sure. We don't have release dates on any of these brand new things that were revealed, but June, the core set comes out. I'll be covering it. I'll be doing all kinds of. I'll be doing everything. You know, like I'll be doing the unboxing. I'll be doing assembly, painting, gameplay. You know, what to buy first at some point. You know, all of that kind of stuff too. This is just an exciting time to be a tabletop gamer and a Star Wars fan. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Really cool stuff. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and cowabunga.